Hello, Grizzly here, and a little update on the situation. I haven't been online playing any games or anything in a while. Some may have noticed. I did put a notice to a couple of friends that the issue is it's time for a rebuild of the PC. As you see, one of the things I'm interested in is getting up to Windows 11, and I can't because when I hit check now, it tells me that the current processor is not supported in Windows 11. The processor being an Intel Core i7-5930 at 3.5 gigahertz. Now, when I built this system, that was pretty far advanced. I mean, everybody wanted either an i7 or the more advanced version. This has done very well for me, and in fact, it says that it is now 7 years old. Some parts of my computer rig are 7 to 8 years old. Some of them are considerably older. Some of the drives I've swapped over. At the moment, I have 1,000 gigabyte HDD, and I got 32 gigabytes of RAM in actually 8 sticks using the Gill system RAM. So this is my old rig. I built it back when we first got involved with Star Citizen, and we decked it out. That was actually glow in dark paint. I'm gonna hate losing that. I do have some lighting effects in there, which I mostly had to program in with a module on the front of the computer, and I'd still have my Blu-ray disc. Oh, down here, Blu-ray disc drive down here. And I find that even though some people say you don't need them anymore, fact is this new rig I'm about to show you has in fact a CD for the Z690 series. So without a disk drive, how are you supposed to use that? Good question, I know. You also notice there's 2 USB drives up top, which are 3.0, but in a number of years it's actually broken the tabs off, and one's barely usable and the other one's non-functional. Inside I got a RTX 2070, which I will be transporting over to the new system. On the bottom there's a power supply. I believe that's an 860 watt power supply, which should keep me going for a while. One word of warning for those of you looking forward to the new video cards coming out. I watched a couple videos. The new GeForce RTX 4070 and 4090 are getting up to 500 to 600 watts of power just on the video card. May certainly make me make a hard look on which video card in the future I want, but for now, that 2070 has a bit of life to it, and we'll continue. Again, there was a total of 8 Gill drives in there, which gave me a total of 32 gigabytes of RAM. I am now going over to a system that'll just have 2 16s for 32. And I got a lot of drives inside that drive bay, which will be coming over. New system is an Intel 12th generation. I've already started, which will have messing around the motherboard. I have the G.Skill Trident Z RGB DIMMs in, and they are 16 gigabytes a piece, total of 32 just in those two. And of course, expandable, I can actually double it to 64 if I so chose. Those are 4800 series, they're blazing fast. In the back section of the motherboard, we have an M.2 drive that's underneath this heatsink, which came with the motherboard. This could be mounted here, or it could be mounted here. And yes, there is another M.2 slot here, up to the max length of the new ones. I don't even have one that large. And then there's a third one right here. So I could take this over here, but I decided this is the fastest connection on the board. So that is where my 1 terabyte M2 drive went, and it's directly connected to the board, directly connected to a cooling system, cooling plate, and that will be my C drive going forward. It's a nice looking motherboard, not terribly expensive at the same time. A Z690P Prime with Wi-Fi from Asus, and let's see. Not sure where I stuck the. Well, somewhere on there, there is a Wi-Fi connection that will go on the back. I don't know if that's going to focus and power that up. The stick of the M2 also came with its own cooling shield, but I'm trusting that this one's actually going to operate better. I'll save the other one in case I get another stick for in here. I can get one without that. And of course, well, probably not, but that is the new 12th generation i5 Intel Core unlocked 12,600K, and entirely new. The main reason I've decided to upgrade, other than the fact that my system is starting to having lockups, heating problems, and I really don't know where exactly they're located, if it's the cooling system, the chip itself, or other parts. But this 12th generation Intel Core processors are really a revolution. Anything from what I had originally gotten up to now has just been slight increases year over year of speed or cores. This is an cores on board, which are performance cores, each hyper-threaded, so you can get actually 12 threads going. So it can walk and chew gum at the same time in each of those 6 cores. And then it has 4 efficiency cores. And the efficiency cores are smaller, and they're actually even more powerful than the ones I have right now. But those efficiency cores will do like this video, doing antivirus searches, doing uploads, music if I want to play music in the background, do those lower end stuff so that the 6 performance cores can concentrate on games and other high intensity things, CAD drawing, video processing. So this is a huge step up for Intel. This is the first time they've done in 2 different types of cores, power and efficiency. So I'm really looking forward to see how well that beefs up the system. So what's keeping me from going any further? Well, the final piece I have, and I actually ordered this a while back when I thought it was just going to be a heating problem with my cooling. The current cooler that I have in there, it's all-in-one. It's mounted up in the top, 2 fans, Energix in the middle. I'm thinking it's failing because it is, again, 7 years old, and it's probably starting to show signs of wear. Maybe air's getting in. I don't know. This was my initial solution, was to get this Kraken Z73 from NZXT. It has the video readout, so you can see your temperature of your processor right in the face of it. 3 fans, and I've never used it. It's still in the box down here on the floor. But the one problem I've run into is this was created before the 12th generation motherboards and processors. So be warned, if you get an older one, newer ones I think past actually I think it was past November of last year that are on the shelves would be alright, but some of them are older. Even though I got this one in March 14th, it's still the older one, and the cooling plate doesn't have the proper connections for the new connections on the motherboard where it mounts on. So I had to order a new one. It's coming in the mail. It's going to take a few more days. But that'll allow me to mount up to the 12th generation board. Then I'll be able to proceed into the case. Case is fairly nice for Manntech. It's got two RGB cooling fans on the top, one more. It's located behind this plate here. And this has presented me with my second issue I've run into. There is a drive bay on the top that's designed to take, among other things, that Blu-ray drive I have on my old computer. However, putting that into the case on the top would require moving the bracket in the corner that connects the that drive, and it will take up the space where that drive is going to sit. So I'm going to have to mount the cooler. Put it on this camera for just a second so I can flip it. Of the chassis, down here behind these three fans that are already previously installed by the case company. So the tricky part is going to be, if I put my video card in, will I be able to get to the processor and have are the hoses long enough to get to the bottom? I don't think they are, so I'm going to have to go on top. But I've researched this over and over again in many videos, and the general consensus is, as long as the plate to the processor is lower, even by 4 or 5 millimeters, than the top of the cooling fan, the air will get trapped in the radiator like it's supposed to, and won't affect the processor. So, hope's on for that. It does have another fan inside the case. It's going to be mounted to the bottom. Very clean, open look to it. It has a separate compartment underneath where you can put your power supply and also some more hard drive. On the back end, very nice concealed wiring system. You can see all the power cords going down to where the power supply will be. There are two SATA drive slots right there on the back plate. I had one on my old one, and I had another one taped on, so it'd be nice to have it not taped on, but actually installed correctly. And you can put another drive or hard drive on this back plate up top, and you can see there's two small bays or one large bay underneath behind the power supply. So that'll allow me to put all of the hard drives I have in my old system into the new system, as well as that Blu-ray drive, and that's why I selected this case. It also has a plate here that does all the connections for all the lighting, and it will synchronize all the lighting so that everything that's RGB addressable will actually all be tied together, so they'll all do the same color displays and everything at the same time. Whereas with my old system, like USB 3 something, that fan in the back, it's always orange. I did that because that's where the heat comes out. Ones under the top were also orange, but the ones in the front were white, and the ones on the bottom are blue. And then the rest of the coloring was just LGB strips that I stripped around and it's color coded. But it'll be nice to have everything synchronized so I can do some interesting display work. The top is another feature I love about this particular case. It has the on-off switch, LED. This is where you change your LED displays. You have two USB ports. And each of these ports has a little rubber plug to help protect them. So my wife, well, I didn't say that out loud, did I? So someone wouldn't come and try and jam it in upside down and ruin the port like has happened in the past. There's also a headphone jack, microphone jack, again with little rubber plugs to help protect it when not in use. So these are the most modern ports, very fast. Multiple connections are on the motherboard as well. I've got connections for those as well as going through the bottom. Everything should be easy to hook up. All the connection ports are easily identifiable on the bottom. 4 SATA jacks here. I'm looking forward to finishing this and then showing you what it looks like when it's all done. But for now, at least now you know why I've not been on Star Citizen, not doing any videos or gameplay or anything. There are some games I can play still on the old system, but as soon as I put something like Star Citizen or graphic intense stuff or anything that's hard on the system is throttling back. So there's obviously something slowly eating it away, and need to get back up to high performance because, well, that's just who I am. But catch up with you once I get that new bracket in. I'll show you how it looks when it's all done. Grizzly out.